I'm Stella, and I'm from New Hampshire.
Cool. So, can you explain a little bit about like how coronavirus has affected New Hampshire or your area in particular?
Yeah, so there's been cases like around my area, and so when like at first everything was happening, it was like I could kind of see them moving in because it was more like in bigger cities since I live in like a very small town, and it was almost like, oh, we'll never come here, It kind of felt like that, and then it did, and so that's like really scary.
In your like town, are you allowed to go out? Was there like a point where there was like a stay-at-home order or anything along that lines?
Yeah, there was a stay-at-home order, and I think on Monday, like restaurants can open and like stuff like that. Like it's like really is being lifted like a lot.
Have you had like a greater struggle during quarantine?
Online schooling was really difficult for me, and I couldn't participate as much as I had hoped to because also my dad works from home and my sister is also doing online schooling, and so everyone's on the internet at once.
Do online schooling, I know you just mentioned that. What would you have changed about it?
I'm not really sure. I did feel like a lot of the teachers had like completely different ways at approaching it, and it felt very random.
Has your personal perspective of the world changed since you've been in quarantine?
I feel more like it's kind of odd because like I feel connected to everyone in a weird way because like everyone's kind of going through the same thing.
Like, in what way do you mean like connected?
Yeah, I have been, or like I've been talking, like calling my family members that like I haven't talked to in years and stuff, and just checking in. And then also I feel like people around the world are going through the same thing that I am, and like usually that isn't happening. Like everyone's doing their own thing, but right now like everyone's kind of doing the same thing.
Do you believe that the adults have been handling the situation well?
I feel I'm not really sure.
Like, it could be like in the government or.
I think the government should have taken should have done something sooner. They kind of waited too long.
Do you think that coronavirus has changed our future, or do you think everything's going to go back to normal within like a year or two?
I think now people are going to be more cautious about, like washing their hands out like after going out anywhere, and I feel like we can learn definitely a lot of lessons, just like being more like safe as like for everything, kind of like since like post 9/11, like now like the security at like airports and stuff is higher. I feel like now like it's kind of gonna be like that.
What do you think that it's going to change for our future?
I think like people are gonna probably like sanitize things more, and yeah, just like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, besides like the world, changing, do you think that you personally you're gonna change after coming out of quarantine, or do you think you're gonna be like the same person as before?
I don't know. I feel like, well, now I've picked up like new hobbies and things, so like that part of me will change, but I don't think like anything major.
So what hobbies have you picked up?
I've been embroidering a lot and like painting.
Do you feel like you've been productive or not really?
At first, I definitely wasn't productive, but I feel like I've been getting into like the swing of things, and I've been like doing a lot.
Wow, that's great. A lot of people were saying that they were really productive in the beginning of it, and then they've slowly become less productive as time goes by. So it's good to hear like someone else who had a different experience with that. Has your relationship with your family changed at all since?
Yeah, definitely, and I think definitely my sister, because I haven't really. She went to boarding school last year and like also this year, obviously. And so I haven't really like spent a lot of time with her in like 2 years, and so it was really nice. Like we're spending all our time together.
Do you have any favorite quarantine snacks?
Uh, Not really. I've been baking a lot. I just like to make cakes.
Ooh, what kind of cakes?
Just like vanilla cakes, I plain one.
That sounds good though. You should like make like different themed cakes each day. That'd be really
Yeah.
fun. If you could, what piece of advice would you give yourself from the beginning of quarantine?
To stay positive and to not like get too stressed out.
Hmm. And then if you could give future generations to come who maybe didn't live through the pandemic, what would you tell them about either the world right now or where you're living or just your experience?
Uh, that things are very uncertain, but like everything feels like it's going to work out.
Hmm. That's great. I don't have any other like questions. So do you have anything else that you would like to add on or mention?
I don't think so.
Cool. Well, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.